Today is gonna be a video that no G20 owner has ever made. And the reason I say that is because we are getting sway bars. I mean, let's be honest, what kind of G20 owner gets sway bars? Normally the G20 people, they put on big slicks in the back, they get the big drag radials, they just go for big boost. It's not about the cornering, it's not about the handling, it's not about the drive, it's about the power. But that's the thing, we're no ordinary G20 owner, okay? I want this thing to be fully functional, and the only way for me to get there is sway bars. A lot of you would probably think that coilovers is going to have the biggest effect on handling, but in reality, sway bars is going to have the most effect on how much body roll you have. And trust me, if you own a G20, you would know that these body rolls are crazy. It is straight Shakira, just... All right, scratch that. Anyways, I debated for a really long time if I wanted to do sway bars just because the labor to install these things is insane. It's absurd. Most places quote anywhere from $2,500 to over $3 grand for a sway bar install on this chassis. And that was one of the biggest things that almost deterred me from wanting to move forward with this. I mean, I literally sat there at night and just pondered if I wanted to do sway bars. Here was a POV look at me at bedtime. So as you guys can see, these sway bars are H&R. Pretty sure it's one of the only brands that makes them for the G20. But yeah, one of the biggest things that's gonna separate the OEM ones from these guys is just the thickness. I also have a set of end links. I have front end links and rear end links. That's gonna help with neutralizing the preload. They're not here, but that will also be included in the install. And not only are we doing sway bars, but check this out. This is our next little secret. We are going to have to use the front camber plates. So these plates right here that I have in my hand are from Vorshlag. And what this is gonna do is replace the top strut mount and allow the camber to come into play. So as you guys can see on this current tire setup, the front is a lot more raised than the rear. And the reason being is this tire size is actually too wide for this setup. It rubs on my inner spring. So this camber plate is going to allow us to not only change the angle or camber of the front of our tire, but it's gonna allow me to push it out with a spacer and then tuck it right under that gap right there. So without this, we would have no way of achieving perfect fitment. So this is gonna be an interesting one, boys. We'll see how this install goes. Basically, I have 10 mil spacers and 5 mil spacers back here. And we're gonna experiment. We're gonna get our scientist on to see what kind of stuff we need to dial in to get this fitment perfect. From what I've seen on the forums, we are gonna be running about a -2.3 in the front and a -2 in the rear, and it should be making this fitment look juicy. It should also have a pretty big impact on my handling as well. So once we have that front camber, that's definitely gonna help us, and then the sway bars are gonna have the biggest change. Definitely excited for those. And then also comment down below, let me know what you guys think. I am debating hard if we should chrome these puppies, all right? I've only seen a couple people online with the chrome VS5RSs, so I feel like it'd be pretty baller. And I like the satin bronze, but I think with the chrome, this car would look crazy. I mean, oh, the Portimao blue with the chrome, it would be a work of art. I mean, guys, this would be a work of art. So like I said, comment down below if you think we should do that. I don't know, it'd be fun. We can play around, it'd be unique. But anyways, join me today as we absolutely conquer the perfect fitment and handling package the G20 world has ever seen. This is a G20 limo. I mean, just the interior in these things is crazy. That's one thing about BMW, guys. Come on now. I have no idea where I'm going.
Okay, man.
Dude, those downshifts are just nasty, man. That is nasty. Wah-bah! That's it. Wah! Wah! This is like some Jabba the Hutt stuff in here. This is straight Jabba the Hutt. I mean, he'd be chilling in here. Just listen to the difference between sport and comfort. Comfort. Listen to that. That is the beauty of a valved exhaust, fellas. Check it out. It's like we're in a Toyota Corolla. It's like a Toyota Camry. Can't even hear it. I'm just so excited for this fitment to finally be perfected. Just look at that monster truck right there. Plus, having that negative camber is gonna look so, so clean. As you guys can see, that blue bar right there is the H&R sway bar. So we got it connected right here to eBay end links. You can see the end link connects right here. But basically, that sway bar goes all the way through to the other side and is way thicker than the factory one. These little guys right here is what's going to adjust the camber. So when this sits in the top hat, what you would do is basically loosen these with an Allen wrench, and then you would press either forward or back. And then that obviously will adjust, you know, the angle of the wheel once it's in there. We're gonna try to pre-adjust these beforehand though, just because we already have a pretty good guesstimate of kind of where we wanna be. It just makes it a lot easier instead of trying to get in there and mangle it. So here's the OEM strut top. There's no way to adjust the camber on it. What is it, the McPherson strut type? Pretty sure it's McPherson
No.
You sure? I think it's McPherson. You can't adjust the front from the factory. You can do the rear, but that's why this new Vorshlag one is going to allow us that adjustability, where this one is just fixed. So there you go. OEM and then upgraded Vorshlag. Look at that nice red, nice candy red right there. That's a good look. We're gonna reuse the little rubber top whatever piece from the OEM coilover.
So it don't clunk.
Yep, no clunking. Alrighty, so we successfully got one side in. Here's the finished result for one side. Let me get some flashlight on there for you. There you have it. That is what it looks like when it is properly installed. We reused that rubber part, got our end link back in, nice and secure right on that nice sway bar. Installs pretty smooth. It's a pretty easy swap. The biggest thing now is just getting the camber figured out. However, we are not going to do that today. We are just going to have it set in a nice neutral position. I'm going to be bringing the car to the professionals to have a nice racing alignment done. That way they can properly get my ride height dialed in and the camber. So it's going to save us all that hassle with us trying to tinker around with that, which we don't want to be doing. Come on guys, this is just race car things. There's nothing like blasting a Sonos on a water heater on a nice winter night, actually a nice fall night, working on the Portimao Blue G20. You guys probably know the vibes, you know what it's like. All right guys, so we're gonna go all in. We're going with the 10 mil Dynon spacers here. I have no idea. So now the ride height's gonna be totally off. Basically what happened is these tires were too wide on a lowered suspension or lowered coilover setup. So it actually rubbed into the spring perch right here. So these spacers are gonna help obviously push the tire away. And then the thing is, if we were just running spacers with no camber whatsoever, we would be rubbing on this fender. That's why that camber plate will now allow us to push the wheel out and then tuck it right inside this fender. The moment of truth. We're gonna drop the jack and we're gonna see what our fitment looks like. Oh, it's nerve-wracking. Oh, wait a minute. I think we're good. And then it's gonna set a little bit too. I mean, obviously this is not a final for ride height because they're gonna play around it with a little bit, but that's not bad.
I think you'll avoid your fender liner. Your fender liner is pretty well tucked up there.
Well, they might need a camber. They might add more camber though. That isn't, look at, that's not even that aggressive. Yeah, the camber's not even that crazy. This is good. This is a nice starting point. So I'm happy with this. All right, the moment of truth. Jesus. Hey, it's a quick jack. It's a quick jack. Come on now. You can literally hear my end links. You hear that?
Yeah, do that. Ow! Oh my god.
What?
Hold on. Just the noise. Okay, go again.
So bad.
Do it. I told you.
Do you think it needs to be retorqued? Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be retightened. Jump on the other side. Let's listen to the other side.
Jeez Louise. I want to go a little bit lower as well. I'm not done yet. Actually, it's going to settle a little bit.
No, that's...
Do you think when it settles, it's going to get even closer to the spring? Because that could be an issue.
If you smell burning rubber, stop.
What would happen is when I would drive around, I'd have this weird clicking noise anytime I just, a little bit of force down on the accelerator, it just click, click, click anytime I'd get momentum. We should alleviate the issue with the end link just because I thought we had a little bit of a scare there, but it turns out it's nothing really too crazy. All right, the test. Look at that. Keep jumping. No more click. No more click clap. I know.
There you go.
Oh, it vibrates.
Yeah.
Wow. Alrighty, so there you guys have it. That is the camber plate installation. It's a pretty relaxed installation, not too difficult. 2 people makes it a lot easier. So far, here's the setup. Like I said, we're gonna get this thing dialed in, get some insane fitment right there in the front. It already looks good right now, and it's at a pretty good height. Obviously, you know, I'm impulsive, I want more. I wanna get that fitment so perfect right there that it is laser. It is laser. So we are now gonna take this puppy for a test drive just to make sure there's no rubbing now with the spacers. This is comfort though, guys. Comfort's pretty, it's relaxed. You can still hear the turbo. It sounds like a diesel truck. Sounds like a Cummins.
It's not clunking. That's great.
No, I don't hear any clunks. Well, actually, the way to test clunk, slow down, like hit the gas, like just like you're doing. You would hear it click, like if you just tap, like if you just tap off, tap, yeah. you would hear the click, but I don't hear it right now. Yeah, it's not anywhere what it was. So at full crank, there's a little bit of fender rub.
That's what it seems like. It's fender rub.
Not tire. This is a fart.
Oh, you can see. Look right there.
Oh, that's nothing. I can always shave that.
Oh, you know what? I know exactly what that noise
is. God, dude. Oh my, I can hear the rubbing from here. I wish you guys could hear this thing in person. It sounds insane. It sounds like a monster. Oh my. It sounds so good. It sounds insane.
You hear the rubbing though?
Oh, the rubbing, it was so loud. I could hear it all the way down here. No, I know. Alrighty, fellas, it is now the next morning. We are about to head over to Arc Flash to get our racing alignment done. But I just wanted to show you guys now in the light, the current fitment, what we're looking like. Obviously, this is a little bit of an uneven ground, but you get the gist. It's looking pretty good right now, especially this side. Check that out. One thing I am nervous about though is just because overnight the springs probably compress a little bit more, and hopefully we don't get any rubbing on the way there. It's my first time ever getting a racing alignment, and hopefully we get it all nice and dialed in. Alrighty, we are pulling up to Arc Flash as we speak. Oh, here's a good test. First curb. Oh. Ah. Success, baby. So I just picked her back up from the alignments, and my, oh my, is she looking pretty. And you guys are probably wondering, why do I have these wheels on it? Well, let's just say I had to do a quick swap. The apexes are currently in the lab. We are going to chrome the world. That's why I threw these guys on. And honestly, this is nice, man. This is like a throwback. It's just like I bought her yesterday. And now she's been ruined and modified, and you guys get the gist. Anyways, I have my handy dandy alignment paper here. And just look at our old setup. Look at how insane our toe was. Look at this. Look at how off this was. The caster, total toe, everything was just super messed up. Now that we're aligned, you can see we are very close to zero. And it looks like they even did negative 2.7 in the rear, which is crazy. And that's how we get this nice, sexy looking fitment right there. Look at that. There's only one last thing to do, and that's see how she drives. The handling on this thing already just feels so much better. I mean, my car will actually go straight when my steering wheel's straight, which is a luxury I never thought I actually cared about. Going back and forth like this, oh my my gosh, my old one, I feel like I'd be in this barrier right now. The car just feels like it's on rails. And I've driven a good amount of like G80s, G82s, and I can tell you right now that this feels way more solid, even on the aggressive setup. You might think that I'm just saying that, but it's even what my tech said over at BMW. He would take this car any day, at least with this current setup, over one of those cars. So that just gives you an idea of how much the handling really is improved just by sway bars, a proper alignment, and then adding camber. Oh man, I cannot wait. And obviously our current tire setup right now is not ideal for this, but just for an idea, I can come flying through here with all seasons on, 225s, and I just feel planted. Oh, we're coming in so hot with the all seasons. Easy. So easy. Guys, I'm telling you, this has literally transformed this car. Here we go. Oh my God, planted. This car is so much more fun to drive. Like, I actually want to drive this car now. It's not just something where you feel so limited before, where if you try to hit corners hard, you know, it's sketchy and the body roll, and it's just not like a driver's experience. But now, since I've had these sway bars, the camber, all that stuff, this car rips. Like, it freaking rips. I don't want to have just a car that goes fast in a straight line. I want that purity. You know, that purity when it comes to driving, the experience, the exhilaration, and I feel like I finally can get a taste of that now with this setup. Don't get me wrong, this is not like an insane setup that you'd get on like a 911 or something like that, where the sway bar has like 5 slots for you to put your end links in. For this car and what it offers, I mean, you can't beat this. What is your excuse to not get sway bars? I mean, at this point, you're just selling your G20 short. I finally get to enjoy this car. I finally get to drive it how it should be driven. Everything that I could ever want from this guy, we now finally have. Don't be up in bed sweating like me in the middle of the night. Just go do the sway bars, get it over with, and bring your G20 to life. We'll see you in the next one.